Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, checking in, currently battling a cold, so we're going to keep it fairly simple in terms of tickers because my throat hurts. But we're going to see CGC with significant follow-through for the bulls on the back of news, getting into the U.S. space with hemp in New York. Big time news, big time follow-through, and timing was perfect. Why was the timing perfect? Because after 3 days and a significant bull move of 35%, what's going to start happening? Shorts are going to start entering positions. And this is a way to trap those shorts, punch them in the mouth, and make them cover. And that, in my opinion, is a significant contribution as to why we saw significant follow-through here. Shorts started to enter yesterday. We had an upper wick of profit taking. We had a 5% pullback, and this is Friday. 5% pullback from the high of the day. That's how you trap shorts. So that news was very nicely timed to do that, and we ended with a lot of momentum. One thing about Fidelity is they are on point with the speed of their news. And we used to run a marijuana stock chat room back in 2013, and it was notable that every time I was getting news before other people who were using different brokers. So here this news came out. Fidelity gives me a little pop-up in the corner of my screen on Fidelity Active Trader Pro, and I was able to enter a big position instantly. All I did was see, CGC, hemp, New York, I'm in. So I was able to enter that big position and post it in the chat room all within 90 seconds of that news coming out. So obviously news is essential in terms of speed. And if you look at the difference that just a couple of minutes makes, this is the candlestick where I made my entry. My entry was in the 38.50s. And if you see that news 5 minutes later, you're looking at buying, 2.5%, 3% higher in just a few minutes. And obviously 10 minutes later, then you're buying significantly after the news comes out. So in the first 3 minutes is when we had that significant opportunity and obviously big time follow through. The profit taking at the end of the day was in part due to a bit of a dump in the tech sector and SPY into the last 20 minutes of the day. And I was attempting and intending to swing trade CGC, but I do afternoon live broadcasts into the close. So I'm live from, 3:15 to 4. So I have to set my orders, and then I can't pay attention to my orders. So I ended up stopping out break even on my entry. I made a 5-minute re-entry. So let's go back. So I entered big initially, scaled out into the strength because it was a big position, re-entered on a new high of the day right here, flipped it again, and then entered on this 5-minute bull break, but again, stopped out break even at the end of the day because I wasn't able to watch it. And it was the kind of scenario where, members were asking me, are you swinging? And I had to say no because I got stopped out break even. The trade would likely work out for my 42.50s entry, but I have to just let my orders ride while I'm live. So that's a bit of a disadvantage that I have at the end of the day, but I'm not worried about it. It was a surprise week maker. The market today was not really seeing a whole lot, and that combined with me being sick, I was not intending on doing much today, and then a surprise week maker out of nowhere. So CGC from here, we are extended on the hourly time frame, but next time we consolidate, we're going to anticipate an hourly higher low is going to form. Look at that volume. So that's volume of bulls surging in on that news and shorts covering, and everybody having to buy at the ask because of how much momentum there was. So when we see a brief pullback and a loss of the 5-minute uptrend, we're going to look for an hourly higher low to form, and of course the bulls are extremely comfortable. This weekly bounce at this point, we know a weekly higher low is going to form when we consolidate, and we're going to be looking to change this weekly trend back to the bulls, probably in Q1 2019. But we're not done yet. Bulls still have control, and we're going to look to break 43.56 first thing tomorrow. And if we do, we're going to look for a little bit more upside because there is a lack of resistance. As soon as we cleared 35.18, a lack of resistance in this range between 35.18 and 46.78. So 46.78 is the next major resistance level. Congrats to the bulls, helping a lot of other names in the sector, but not to the degree that you would anticipate. That was clearly a CGC specific news event. ACB on the daily time frame, beautiful continuation here as well. 4th day in a row with that strength. Close up near the high of the day. Resistance is 906, followed by really 10 psychological, 923 if you had to pick a level, but 10 psychological, and then looking up at 1015. Same thing, when we lose the hourly uptrend, daily consolidation will be underway. Anything above 849 maintains hourly higher lows. So as long as the hourly uptrends are intact, bulls are in full control. We do have multiple tops up at the high of the day, 906, 904, 901. Bulls are going to test those first thing tomorrow morning if we don't gap up open, which is a possibility. Depends on how news goes after hours. The CGC news making its rounds. CNBC is probably going to talk about it. How many articles are going to be posted about it? How much is social media going to share it? These are all factors in terms of whether or not we're going to see a gap up open. But obviously very bullish news. Hourly uptrend intact for ACB. Bulls still very strong. Weekly time frame has changed the trend with a higher low and a higher high. Next major weekly level is 1065. APHA held on for the bulls. Disappointing comparatively, but still holding on just fine. 955 and 948, so it's a daily inside bar. 907 break will be bearish, and 948 break tomorrow will be bullish. And it's just a tightening sideways hourly pattern. Clear upper wicks of profit taking in the mid $9 range, and our hourly higher low is 907. So 907 to 955, and there's a support at 9 psychological as well. And look at the lack of support under 9 psychological, so bulls really want to hold that level. I'd say 9 and 955 are the most important levels heading into tomorrow. Cron on the daily time frame, rejecting from 14 yet again. So we're breaking this resistance from the previous reaction to the deal that Cron had, but we're not closing above it. So still have to be a bit cautious because if we lose the hourly uptrend, daily consolidation is coming. Key support is down here at 1350 and 1341. Break those levels and daily consolidation will be underway, and we'll look for a daily higher low to be established. This is a news event that is going to have us looking for other names to be getting involved in the USMJ space. This is going to, set the tone, and we're going to see these other major names with some sort of US industrial hemp news at some point in Q1 2019, in my opinion. CGC was the first one to get a deal, then Cron gets a deal, then deals start to come in. So now we're going to be looking for this follow the leader type action again in terms of diversification into industrial hemp in the US. TLRY did get some continuation today, but not a whole lot. We have to be cautious of the bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern on the hourly. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. If we break support of 97.61, we lose the hourly uptrend and we confirm that pattern. So that's the most important support level. And then 95.11 after that. And for the bulls to try and negate this head and shoulders pattern, resistance is 103.27 and 106 after that. So a couple clear little hourly higher lows, some lower highs, but this is a head and shoulders setup right now. And we did not see a bullish reaction to the news in both TLRY and Cron. It was very lackluster in terms of any kind of correlation to CGC. Made an entry in MPXEF today, the US version of MPX. On the bull break, I've been highlighting this pattern a couple times in the last few videos of the cup and handle setup. Nice to see the bulls break all of our resistances on the initial go, and it was bull volume was the reason that I entered that trade along with resistance breaking. Very significant bull volume, one of the highest volume days in the past couple of months. And we have the vote tomorrow for MPX IAN merger and spinoff and all that. And I might hold. This position's not huge because I haven't played a penny stock in a long time. So I lower my position size when the risk and reward is greater because the percentage swings are greater. And I might look to hold this to get some shares and get some spinoff and things like that. So MPX and IAN combined as one company will definitely be one of the leaders in the US space, in our opinion. Top 5 names or so from that intro to USMJ video we did long ago. They were among the list. So that is a potential incentive for me to want to hold on. And unless I see major red flags, that's probably what I'm going to do. NBEV had a big bull break. Look at the volume here as well today. Inside bar broke bullish first thing. 642 and 645 being cleared was the go signal for the bulls. And we ran hard after that, 15+%. Look at the weekly time frame. We keep talking about blue sky breakout names to be watching, specifically in the US. There is little resistance on this chart right now. It's a long way percentage-wise to the all-time high, about a 35% move or more. But the lack of resistance means the bulls can move easily. So 775, 806, 948, and the bulls are in full control here. Last daily higher low was down at $5. So we will need a daily high or low at some point soon, but this is another very bullish chart and a healthy USMJ name. IIPR, all-time high today. Yet another one, USMJ, watch those all-time highs. We broke that all-time high of 55.63. Actually, I take that back. I could have sworn we broke that earlier in the day. Guess not. That's a big difference. So we don't have an all-time high. We have a double top at that all-time high by 3 pennies. So if we lose the hourly uptrend with that double top, which we did here, it's essentially a triple top, and then lost that support of 54.51. So that means be patient because consolidation is underway, and we might have to pull back on the daily. We'll see if we get a daily inside bar tomorrow because the range of today's candlestick was so large, and we closed in the middle of it. There's a little gap at 52.43 to be watching, but we're going to look for a healthy daily high or low, and then another attempt to try and break the triple top at the all-time high and get that follow through. N is continuing to pull back. We never changed the hourly trend. So what do we look for when we're looking for a daily high or low to be established? We're looking for an hourly trend change back to the bulls. And that didn't happen. It's just been lower highs and lower lows, and we closed down at the low of the day. So still in consolidation mode, and this is the kind of scenario where if you're looking at your Canadian MJ name or MJ name in general, if you've pulled back this much, it's still healthy considering where we came from, but you're not going to be anticipating just a continuation move unless you have news behind it. Because at this point, the pullback, to see a new higher high from here, we need a 27% move, which is significant. And we haven't even built our base yet. We're at the low of the pullback. So just using this as a gauge to compare, any individual ticker that you're watching, you want to see brief, healthy consolidation with lower wicks, with declining bear volume, with a small enough percentage pullback that the bulls can see that continuation move like we've seen on OGI and some of these other names that have gotten that continuation already. But for N here, once we do change that hourly trend and once we do form the daily high or low, we're going to be looking for a daily lower high and a tightening range rather than that continuation move. So gauging the size of the pullback is what you can use to help gauge the likelihood of continuation versus sideways trading from where we stand. So we still have not formed a daily high or low. The close at the low of the day shows the bearish momentum, and we'll see if the bulls are able to change that hourly trend sometime in the next couple of days to give us our daily high or low. So plenty of other names that we could cover, but again, I don't want to talk anymore, and we'll certainly check back in tomorrow to see what kind of follow through we get. CGC after hours, holding on just fine around the $43 mark. And again, congrats to the bulls that acted on that news. Congrats to the bulls that were already in positions. Just an example of how timely news can make all the difference in the world. And do good things. See you tomorrow.